Chase, would you lead us?
We have to.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no, sit down. Hold on, I forgot.
Sit down.
See, I told you I was tired.
Because I'm too anxious.
I make a
Got
motion that
excited.
we leave non-public session.
Second that.
All right, on the motion, Council Mills,
Yes.
Council Healy.
Yes.
Council Webb,
Yes.
Council Chase.
Yes.
Council Flood.
Yes.
Council Foot. And
Yes.
chair votes yes.
I make a motion that we seal the minutes indefinitely because it is determined that the divulgence of this information would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. On the motion, Council Mills.
Yes.
Council Healy.
Yes.
Council Webb.
Yes.
Council Chase.
Yes.
Council Flood.
Yes.
Council Foot.
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Okay, now, Council Chase, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
All right. And roll call, Councilor Mills,
Good evening.
Councilor Healy,
Good evening.
Councilor Webb,
Good evening.
Councilor Chase,
evening.
Councilor Flood,
Good evening.
Councilor Foot.
Good evening.
And good evening from the chair. Is there a motion to open public forum?
So moved. Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, public forum is now open. The floor is yours. If you'd like to come up, just please state your name and address for the record.
Madam Chair, we're seeing none rise online.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion to close public forum. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? All right, consent agenda. We have item 2643, approve the minutes from April 21st, 2026. Item 2644, to approve the minutes from April 23rd, 2026. 2645 is Resolution 2026-029 to accept a New Hampshire Highway Safety Grant for various traffic enforcement activities. There will be a public hearing on that item on May 19th, 2026. And item 2646 is property tax credits and exemptions, which was discussed in non-public session.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the consent agenda as published, including new credits and exemptions for tax year 2025 in accordance with RSA 72:28, 72:35, 72:37, and 72:39-A.
Second that.
All right, there a motion by Councilor Healy, second by Councilor Mills. On the motion, Councilor Mills?
Yes.
Councilor Healy?
Yes.
Councilor Webb?
Yes.
Councilor Chase?
Yes.
Councilor Flood?
I abstain. I missed one of the meetings.
Okay. Councilor Foot?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion passes 601. All right, chair's report. We have a couple of items. One is for the Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission. I move to appoint Richard Malaby as a member of the Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission for a term to expire June 30th, 2028.
Second.
All right, motion a second. On the motion, Councilor Mills,
Yes.
Councilor Healy,
Yes.
Councilor Webb,
Yes.
Councilor Chase,
Yes.
Councilor Flood?
Yes.
Councilor Foot?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. And the other item, we unfortunately have received the resignation of our deputy town clerk, Lynn Gagnon. So we are going to be voting on appointing a new deputy town clerk. But before we do that, I would just like to say thank you to Lynn for all of her service and for stepping in when our town clerk had to step away. And always, I feel like always having a smile, even during some of the most stressful elections we've had in the moment. She's always smiling. So I do just want to say thank you to Lynn for that. And I am confident that Brianna Holler will do just as great a job as Lynn has. So on that, hold on, there's a resolution. I will entertain a motion for Resolution 2026-030. If someone wants to read that, or am I supposed to read that one?
I can go ahead and take care of that for you.
Okay, great, thanks.
Whereas RSA 9441, RSA 41:18 requires the approval of a governing body when the town clerk appoints a deputy, And whereas the town clerk has selected a Derry resident who possesses all of the requisite skills to perform the duties of deputy town clerk, now therefore be it resolved in council that the appointment of Brianna Haller as deputy town clerk is hereby approved. This resolution shall take effect May 15th, 2026. And that was resolution number 2026-030 to approve the appointment of the deputy town clerk.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great selection by our town clerk. Every time I visited the office, she's always been very pleasant, and she's coming up on 3 years in the office, so I know she has a great deal of knowledge on what that office does, and I think she's a great appointment.
Excellent. All right, on the motion, Counselor Mills,
Yes.
Counselor Healy,
Yes.
Counselor Webb,
Yes.
Counselor Chase,
Yes.
Counselor Flood,
Yes.
Counselor Foote,
Yes.
and Chair votes yes. Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations and welcome, and we look forward to working with you. And just for the record, everybody, it is not Haller, it is Holler, or? It is Howler. That's what I would have said. She threw me off and said something that didn't quite sound like what I thought she said, so forget it.
Didn't you listen to the resolution?
I did listen to it, but she was like very clear to come up and say, it's this and not this. I'm like, who wouldn't say Howler? All right, Town Administrator's report.
All right, I'd like to invite Mark Fleischer to the podium. He has a brief update on our fiscal 26 quarter 3 financials, and he'll go over some of the details within the presentation, but overall everything looks in great shape as we're coming into the home stretch for fiscal 26.
Good evening. Can you hear me? No?
I can, but I don't know.
Should be good.
We good? Okay. All right, well, this is the third quarter financial report dated March 31, 2026. So March is 75% through the fiscal year. For this exercise, we're going to talk about general fund operations, which do not include taxes, overlay, TIF, capital, and EMT revenues or expenses.
Fair enough.
So in the general fund for FY26, our revenues are 92% of budget as of 3/31/26. Our expenses were 83% of budget. A year ago, at FY25, our revenues were 87% of budget and our expenses were 78% of budget. So in FY26 is a little higher than FY25, primarily due to receipt and transfer of $20,700,000 in bond proceeds in the first quarter, and that was related to the parking garage. Revenues and expenses can run higher due to contractual obligations booked for the entire year. So some of the revenue variations that are exceeding that 75% benchmark. In fire, we have receipts of contracted ambulance and dispatch services. Fire permits and ambulance revenues are trending above budget. In tax, motor vehicle registrations are 79% of budget. However, in January 2026, we hit kind of a slowdown due to increased state fees and wintry weather conditions. Also, the January renewal notices, which are normally sent in December, did not go out because they reflected the old fees. So we're playing catch up at this point. For IT, intergovernmental revenue from cable, water, and wastewater was posted in the first quarter. In health, permit revenue is 105.2% of budget. OMO, interest revenue is 132.5% of budget. And town clerk, marriage licenses and vital records are 94.4% of budget, and civil forfeiture revenue is 129% of budget. In planning applications are 113.6% of budget, and building permits are 114% of budget. Some of the revenues that are trending below the 75% benchmark. In police, the annual SRO and Chester prosecutor billings will be processed in the fourth quarter. Human services repayments of assistance is only 35.6% of budget. In tax, our boat registrations are 43.8% of budget. However, we expect more activity in the fourth quarter. For the elections, intergovernmental revenue for the March election happened in the fourth quarter, and that was about $11,000. In planning, consulting fee revenue was 62.9% of budget. Recreation, the transfers from the Alexander Carr and McGregor Trust will take place in the fourth quarter. And under parks, we have been transferring funds out of the Alexander Carr Trust to the tune of 62.7% of budget. And highway, inspection fees are 43% of budget, and transportation improvement trust fund transfer will help it happen in the fourth quarter. Over to expenditures. Again, in FY26, we're 83% of budget. In FY25, we're 78%. Departments are trending individually between 63% and 95% of budget. So below the third quarter expenditure tracking, we have fire. They have 3 paramedic and paramedic/firefighter positions and an assistant fire chief. In police, they have vacant positions as well, 8 patrolmen. The SRO expenses will be 42.3% of budget. And in human services, we've only had 24.6% of budget in assistance issued. Some of the expenses that are exceeding the third quarter benchmark is 75%. In fire, we have overtime of 94.7% of budget. Most of that's offset due to vacancies. In town clerk, postage is 189.2% of budget. The state required special mailing in the first quarter, and that's more than offset by the civil forfeiture revenue that the town clerk has collected. In IT, annual software support payments have been processed. Assessing, the annual assessing contract is encumbered. Human services, the annual agency payments are also encumbered. In OMO, earned time buyouts with roll-ups is 181.5% of budget, primarily due to the slew of retirements we've had. In highway, annual roadway maintenance is encumbered. Snow removal was 100% of budget, not surprisingly. And supply, maintenance, repair, which is primarily road salt, is 130.3% of budget. For the transfer station, our annual contracted services were encumbered. Other information. Interest earnings on the unspent bond proceeds for the parking garage totaled $512,000 since August of 2025. The current interest rate is 3.6332%. Also, the town's average general fund interest rate was 3.15 for March for 2026. The March 2025 average interest rate was 3.95%. We continue to experience a slow reduction in investment yields. However, year-to-date, we have exceeded FY 2026 budget by $357,000. Any questions?
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you.
And Mike, do you have other?
Yeah, I have a couple of other things. Thank you, Mark, for the thorough presentation. A couple of items for the general public. Just another reminder that this Saturday, May 9th, is Household Hazardous Waste Day, and that'll be held at West Running Brook School between 9 a.m. and noontime. If there's any questions regarding accepted materials, please refer to the town's website for further information. And then secondly, just to put this out there, we'll make a number of announcements, but the tax collector's office and town clerk will be changing their hours slightly, effective on July 6, 2026. So the hours will be changing to Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then there'll be an additional late hour on Wednesdays only, in which those offices will stay open until 5 p.m. Okay, so it was a discussion about what our available staffing was, primarily driven by the tax collector's office, but the thought process was that because we have a number of transactions that are done online and managing the schedules to push that back to a 4 p.m. closure with the exception of Wednesdays, it was prudent to continue that service in that manner. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for Mike before we move?
Yeah, just on the hours, is there going to be, I'm assuming there's going to be communication on the website, and because I know people have gotten used to those hours, especially for tax collector, motor vehicle registrations. And then my other question is, there's signage in various spots of the building. That's going to be obviously updated.
So yes, on both, Dan. We're going to be taking multiple opportunities through social media, through the town's website, and then also I'll continue to make announcements during our town council meetings on that front. And then relative to the signage, it's happened before that we just take it to an individual who deals with those placards, changes those out, and we should be fine without any major, concerns there.
Thank you very much. We'll move to our public hearings. The first one is 2636, Resolution 2026-021, to adopt revised user rate and fee schedules for Derry water customers. Public Works Director Tom Carrier presenting.
Good evening, councilors. With me is Mark LaRue, Deputy Public Works Director, also the Direct Supervisor of Water and Wastewater. Thank you, Owen.
Yes.
I'll use this. That's fine. So, as part of the budget process, we review our water and wastewater rates with regard to the budget presented to the town council. So those are done annually. The FY27 budget that was presented to the town council was $4,391,599. Revenues must equal expenses. It is an enterprise fund. We had projected a $270,000 revenue shortfall. That revenue was recognized a couple of years ago, actually, when the council approved the Rand Shepherd Hill water project. There was a state revolving loan that we had applied for through the state. We are projecting that first payment will become due in FY27. The council in 2022, when they approved the project, approved a corresponding cost recovery rate increase of 41 cents per 100 cubic feet, and that is reflected in the $3.47 to $3.88 increase that is included in the budget as presented. In addition, due to personnel costs, we are also proposing that the base charge, that's the quarterly charge, the minimum base charge that we charge to all the water users, be increased from its current $34 per quarter to $36. And we, of course, have the corresponding out-of-town rates that we charge the town of Londonderry. Those are 15% higher than Derry's rates. So those would increase from $3.99 to $4.45 per 100 cubic feet. And the base charge for the Londonderry users would go from $39 to $41 per quarter. And this is just the full chart of all of the different rate classes based on meter sizes. They all increase by the same percentage. With regard to the impacts of the water rates as we are proposing them, you'll see that it's about a $9.70 increase on the average quarterly bill. We bill every 3 months. The users get 4 bills a year. So the proposed increase would increase that bill by $9.77 or $3.26 a month on the average user. You'll see that the Londonderry users would have it slightly higher. Their quarterly bill would go to $14.77 increase, an increase of $4.92 per month. And the important part that we like to stress is when we look at Derry's rates, we had done a water study, a master plan, looking at the rates a couple of years ago. One of the recommendations is that we needed to bring our rates more in line with our peer communities to make sure that we're maintaining our infrastructure. So with the rates as proposed, you'll see that Derry's annual charge for the water users is 20% less at $439.86 per year compared to the average of our peer communities, which is just over $551. So that looks favorable on Derry when you compare us to our peer communities. In addition to looking at the rates, we also look at our fee structures, meters in particular. So the town of Derry, for conformity and compatibility with our billing system, we specify a single meter from a single vendor. The town buys those meters and then we resell them back to new users. So there's a labor component and a materials component. So we look at that each year to see how it falls with regard to what we are charging the new customers for the meters. In addition, there's a Merrimack River Source Development Charge. This charge has been in place for several years. It was a charge that was implemented by Manchester Waterworks, and the purpose of which was to develop a second source of supply in the Merrimack River. That project has actually been completed a couple of years ago. The town prepaid its capacity in Manchester Waterworks, so we have a 2.9 million gallon a day allotted capacity that we have purchased. So when new and expanding users come to Derry, we charge them a corresponding source development charge equal to that of Manchester's to pay back the rate users who upfronted those costs when we prepaid those several years ago. And looking at those numbers, so those are the proposed changes for a water meter going from an average residential customer would go from $356 to $363. That's installed. And you'll see the various increases for the larger meters. And then the source development charge goes from, and Manchester increases that 3% annually. So we mimic that 3% going from $1,302 for the average single-family connection to $1,341, and from there it gets escalated based on the volume capacity for the increased size meters. The net impact of the fees as proposed is $3,454 on the FY27 budget, so it's a nominal increase, but it keeps the ratepayers whole. A new single-family residential water connection, a new connection onto the water system would increase an additional $46. That would be $2,789 for the average connection on the Derry water system. You want to go into wastewater, or do you want to hit water?
Do we want to just do them together, or do we want to do them separate? Okay.
Madam Chair, I move to open the public hearing on 26-36 to adopt revised use rate and fee schedules for Derry Water's customers.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, the public hearing is open. If anyone would like to speak on this matter, come up.
Anyone online?
Madam Chair, seeing none, rise.
Madam Chair, seeing no one jumping to the forefront, I move to close the public hearing.
Second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, public hearing is closed. Questions from councilors? Councilor Webb.
I just have one question, as on the out-of-town water rate. So for the Pennachuck customers out in East Derry, when you have to open up that valve at Floyd Road and they buy, or Pennachuck buys water, is that at the Londonderry rate, or is that at a different rate?
You referring to the East Derry resident customers that
Yeah.
are Pennachuck? So we do have a wholesale not a wholesale, I'm sorry, we have a retail connection for about 600 users out in the Drew Woods area. We have a single connection, so we don't bill those users individually.
Correct.
So we charge them the same retail rate that we charge all of our large customers. So we don't charge them the out-of-town rate because essentially they're in-town customers.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? All right.
Seeing no further questions, Madam Chair, resolution number 2026-021 to adopt the revised user rate and fee schedule for Derry water customers. Whereas RSA 38:17 authorizes the town council to enter a supply contract with another municipality for the purposes of purchasing water for customers of the Derry Water Department. And whereas the town has entered into a wholesale supply contract with Manchester Waterworks to provide water for its customers. And whereas the town council, on occasion and in accordance with RSA 38:28, shall review water user rates to remain in compliance with the town's contract with Manchester Waterworks, to fund necessary capital improvements and to ensure the equitable distribution of expenses across all water user classifications. Now, therefore, be it resolved in council that the town council hereby adopts the attached revised user rate schedules for Derry water customers. This resolution shall take effect on all water usage billed on or after July 1st, 2026.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? On the motion, Councilor Mills?
Yes.
Counselor Haley?
Yes.
Counselor Webb?
Yes.
Counselor Chase?
Yes.
Counselor Flood? Yes. Counselor Foote?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0. All right, next up is 2637, Resolution 2026-022, to adopt revised user rate schedules for Derry wastewater customers.
Councilors, similarly with the wastewater budget as presented to the town council was $10,340,334. Again, as an enterprise fund, the revenues must equal the expenses. That budget included a $6.1 million loan for the Ryan's Hill Sewer Project. So absent that from the equation, we projected $170,000 revenue shortfall, and that was primarily for two reasons. One is increased cost for a replacement of a effluent pipeline coming from the wastewater treatment plant. It's an aged piece of infrastructure that has developed several leaks over the past years. So the cost to replace that escalated significantly, as well as the increased personnel costs and commodities and utilities. The wastewater in-town rate we are proposing to increase from $4.05 to $4.25 per 100 cubic feet. Similarly, the wastewater out-of-town users, the town of Londonderry, they will pay from $4.65 to $4.89 per 100 cubic feet. That's a 15% differential. And the base charge we're proposing, again, the minimum quarterly, once every 3 months, charge to our customers from $47 to $50 for the Derry residents, and for the Londonderry customers would go from $54 to $57 per quarter. Again, this is the impact on the base classes. We have flat customers who are unmetered. So those rates would go from $124 to $131 a quarter. That would just be a flat charge for those customers that are not currently metered by the Derry Water Department. The impacts on the rates as we are proposing them is about $6.86 on the average quarterly residential bill. It's $2.29 a month. Just about 6% increase there. The town of Londonderry similarly would see an impact of $3,269 per quarter. And that's just over $1,000 a month to the town of Londonderry. And we bill the town of Londonderry as a single customer. Again, looking at the rates on how we compare to our peer communities, Derry's average annual sewer bill at $524 is about 24% less than our peer communities, which average about $692. So again, we're not quite in the middle. We're still on the lower end, which is favorable for Derry. So we do look at that as an advantage, and particularly having our own wastewater treatment plant, it's able for us to keep our costs down. And just for comparing with the water and the sewer rates combined, if you look at where Derry stands, again, with our peer communities that offer both water and sewer services, Derry's annual water and sewer customer will pay about $963 a year. And again, that's about 24% less than the peer communities for water and sewer service. And with that, I will take any questions.
Madam Chair, I move to open the public hearing.
Second that.
All right, a motion and a second to open public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, public hearing is open on Resolution 2026-022.
Madam Chair, seeing none, rise online.
Move to close.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstentions? Okay, questions from councilors?
Seeing no questions, Madam Chair, I move Town Council approve resolution number 2026-022 to adopt a revised user rate schedule for Derry wastewater customers. Whereas RSA 149-1:1 authorizes the Town Council to construct and maintain public sewer facilities for the public convenience, health, or welfare, and whereas the town has enacted a structure of sewer fees to ensure that the system is properly funded, and whereas the Town Council on occasion and in accordance with RSA 149-1:8 shall review wastewater sewer rents to ensure that adequate revenues are received to fund all operating expenses and necessary capital improvements, and to ensure the equitable distribution of expenses across all wastewater user classifications. Now therefore be it resolved in council that the town council hereby adopts the attached revised user rate schedule for Derry wastewater customers. This resolution shall take effect on all sewer usage billed on or after July 1st, 2026.
Second.
All right. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Right. On the motion, Councilor Mills?
Yes.
Councilor Healy?
Yes.
Councilor Webb?
Yes.
Councilor Chase?
Yes.
Councilor Flood?
Yes.
Councilor Foot?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
councilors.
All right, next up we have item 26-40, Resolution 2026-025, to accept a Bureau of Justice Assistance Grant for Incident Management Equipment. Police Chief George Feole presenting.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, councilors. You may recall the last meeting you had, I presented seeking authority to sign an interlocal agreement between Rockingham County and the town of Derry regarding a justice assistance grant that we had just been notified we were eligible to receive. Today, I want to present the spending plan for those funds. We are going to receive $14,407 in total from the Justice Assistance Grant. There is an administrative fee of $1,008 that will be paid to the applicant/fiscal agent, which is the Finance Department at Rockingham County. The remaining funds available in the grant to spend for the town of Derry will be $13,399. We propose to spend that money in two ways. So we want to purchase a 75-inch interactive smart board for installation in our shift commander's office right outside of dispatch. And we want to acquire 2 Microsoft Surface Pro tablets for use in the field by our commanders during emergencies. The benefits of that are as follows. It allows the shift commander's office to become a tactical operations center. It centralizes our intelligence via a 75-inch interactive smart board. We're able to display live drone feeds. You may know that we have that capability now. And we can broadcast from wherever we're flying the drone via the internet. We can broadcast that to whoever receives the link to display that information. Video, we will allow digital mapping and floor plans for tactical planning to be displayed. Video review of real-time intelligence for gathering information off of our cruiser cameras and or our body cameras that we utilize every day, as you know. The benefits for the Surface Pros, provides high mobility workstations for command staff, provides 5G connectivity, ensures secure high-speed access. Full workstation capability. These computers will allow us to do anything in the field that we can do in our building. So we have full access to our database for our records management. We have full access to the FBI and the Hampshire state databases as well. Supports our police software reporting system and then provides us tactical tools to use in the field, digital tools. And they will have a rugged case for durability. So just to recap the cost, $10,622 for the interactive smart board, $3,214 for the 2 Surface Pros. Total cost is $13,836. That exceeds our federal allotment by $437. I'm not asking for any additional appropriations. I'm confident I can find $437 in my existing appropriated budget. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Move to a public hearing.
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? All right, public hearing is open on Resolution 2026-025.
Madam Chair, seeing none rise online at this time.
Move to close.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, questions from councilors? Yes.
Just have one, I'm just kind of curious. So you're able to watch on this board your body cameras and the cruiser cams live as the incident's happening?
Drones, I can watch live.
Yep.
The body cameras and the cruiser camera have to be downloaded into the
Gotcha.
system first.
All right. I was just thinking the cool factor.
That's merely taking the body camera and
Yeah.
popping it in a dock, and within seconds, it's downloading the data.
I thought I had a question, but I answered it myself. Well, just read one more sentence and I answered my question. Any other questions?
Madam Chair, seeing no further questions, I move that the Town Council adopt Resolution 2026-025 to accept the U.S. Bureau of Justice Assistance Grant for Incident Management Equipment. Whereas Section 9.15 of the Town Council Charter authorizes the Town Council to accept grant funding, and whereas the Town Council has long recognized the need to keep up with technological
We know what you mean.
advances for emergency services, and whereas Rockingham County has received a Bureau of Justice Assistance grant in the federal FY25 budget, and whereas the town of Derry qualifies as a subrecipient by signing an intermunicipal agreement, now therefore be it resolved in council pursuant to RSA 31:95-B that the town administrator is hereby authorized to apply for, accept, and expend up to $14,407 from the United States Bureau of Justice Assistance for incident management equipment for the police department. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
Second.
All right, motion, a second. Any further discussion? On the motion, Counselor Mills?
Yes.
Counselor Healy?
Yes.
Counselor Webb?
Yes.
Counselor Chase?
Yes.
Counselor Flood?
Yes.
Counselor Foote?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, council.
Moving on to our new business, item 26-31, Resolution 2026-018, to adopt the FY27 town budget. Town Administrator Michael Fowler presenting.
All right, so this is a very big day for the town council and our staff in that looks like we'll be able to bring this ship home on the FY27 budget and also the FY27 to 32 capital improvement plan. So we've gone through a number of public hearings, a number of workshops, interactivity with our staff, with our town council. We believe all the questions have been answered at this point. So you have a resolution first, 2026-018, to adopt the FY27 budget in the amount of $77,914,185. So that has been adjusted to any of the minor adjustments that had been requested. But at this point, I would urge the council to move forward in going forward with an affirmative vote, and this would take effect on July 1, 2026.
Any further last comments or questions?
Made them all.
Okay. All right.
Just a comment that I think that the entire town staff, down to everybody, did a fantastic job on this budget. This was one of the easiest budget processes I've seen this town ever go through. And thanks to all.
Agreed. Thank you, everybody. It was a very painless process, for sure.
Madam Chair, seeing no further questions, I move the town council approve resolution number 2026-018 to adopt the FY27 budget, whereas section 9.4 of the town charter vests in the town council the responsibility to enact the town budget by May 31st, and whereas the town council has reviewed and made revisions to the budget as proposed by the town administrator, now therefore be it resolved in council that the town council hereby adopts the FY27 town budget in the amount of $77,914,185 as set forth in the attached summary. This resolution shall take effect on July 1st, 2026.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Any last discussion or comments? All right, on the motion, Counselor Mills?
Yes.
Counselor Healy?
Yes.
Counselor Webb?
Yes.
Counselor Chase?
Yes.
Counselor Flood?
Yes.
Counselor Foote?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0. We're done with the budget. All right. Item 2647, Resolution 2026-027 to adopt the FY27 to 32 capital improvements plan. back over to you.
All right, so same applies here. The process started way back in January with our town departments submitting their requests. It went through the planning board, it went through the town council on numerous reviews and workshops. We've arrived at the final number for the capital improvement plan. That has been embedded within the FY27 budget for those projects that will be applicable for FY27. So with that, you have resolution 2026-027, which would take effect for July 1, 2026, and that will set your priorities for the upcoming fiscal year, and obviously looking forward out to fiscal 32. So with that, I would encourage the town council to take action tonight.
All right.
Madam Chair, seeing no further questions, I move the town council approve resolution number 2026-027 to adopt the FY27-32 capital improvement plan. Whereas Section 9.8 of the town charter vests in the town council a responsibility to adopt the capital improvements plan by May 31st, and whereas the planning board has reviewed the plan and proposed no revisions, and whereas pursuant to RSA 674:5, the plan is a budget tool to assist the town council in their consideration of the annual budget, and whereas the town council has reviewed the plan as proposed by the town administrator and made any amendments to the plan, now therefore be it resolved in council that the town council hereby adopts the FY27-32 capital improvements plan. This resolution shall take effect July 1st, 2026.
Second.
A motion by Councilor Mills, second by Councilor Foot. Any last discussion? On the motion, Councilor Mills?
Yes.
Councilor Healy?
Yes.
Councilor Webb?
Yes.
Councilor Chase?
Yes.
Councilor Flood?
Yes.
Councilor Foot?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you. All right, item 26-27, resolution 2026-014 to authorize the acquisition of property at 17 South Avenue, LMG master agreement for Abbott Court. Town Administrator Mike Fowler presenting again.
Okay, thank you. So agenda item 2627 is related to a property transaction for a small parcel at 17 South Ave, and that's in concert with the development that's underway for the Abbott Court development. So pursuant to RSA 41:14A, the town council was required to hold 2 public hearings on this matter. Both of those were conducted on April 7th and April 21st, respectively. So tonight's action is for the town council to read the resolution and take this to a vote. Just for a reminder for the audience and the public, this is going to be a cost for $314,994, but the proceeds to the seller will be $270,000. So this is part of supporting the overall development in that particular area. It's what we call a triangular parcel, and it's 4,376 square feet. So with that, we can take the vote at this point, and again, we've done the requisite number of public hearings to move forward tonight.
Are there any last questions or comments before we move to a vote? Okay.
Madam Chair, I move the resolution number 2026-014 to authorize the acquisition of property at 17 South Avenue, whereas Section 5.1 of the town charter designates the town council as the governing and legislative body of the town, and as such is empowered to purchase real property for the benefit of the town and to appropriate funds for such purposes. And whereas the town council previously authorized a master development agreement with Lansing Melbourne Group, LMG, under resolution number 2024-066, and whereas there is a need to purchase a 4.376 square foot parcel adjacent to town property to support development in Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Abbott Court development, and whereas sufficient funds are available with the bond proceeds for this project, and now therefore be it resolved in council that the town administrator is hereby authorized to execute all necessary documents and take appropriate actions to purchase a 4,376 square foot parcel map 3, lot 12-17 South Avenue. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
Second.
Second. A motion, Council Mills, second by Councilor Foote. Any other comments, questions? All right, on the motion, Councilor Mills,
Yes.
Councilor Healy,
Yes.
Councilor Webb,
Yes.
Councilor Chase,
Yes.
Councilor Flood,
Yes.
Councilor Foote,
No.
and Chair votes yes, motion passes 6-1-0. All right, last item is 2648, Resolution 2026-028, to approve funds from the Derry Village Rotary Club. Fire Chief Greg Laro presenting.
Good evening, councilors. So, as you mentioned, we're here tonight to request that the council authorize the town administrator to accept a very generous $2,500 gift from the Derry Village Rotary for the purchase of additional AEDs for the AED loaner program. So I thought, what better opportunity to kind of highlight some of the benefits of that program. So I brought Captain Ed King along. He's our EMS captain, and he's going to give us a brief presentation on the AED loaner program.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for letting me speak here for a few minutes. This is one of my, my purview in the fire department is pretty broad. I basically work with everything EMS ambulance related, but this is one of the programs that is very dear to me because it has such an impact on the average citizen of town. About back in 2023 or so, myself and a former battalion chief got together after some brainstorming and came up with this idea, and it wasn't brand new. You know, we stole pieces and parts from other departments and put this all together and developed this AED loaner program for the citizens of Derry. And what does that mean? So we have a total of right now 5 AEDs available to us that anybody 18 years or older can borrow. There's no fee involved with this, can borrow the AED. They can keep it upwards of 90 days, though I do have one right now. We can extend that depending on the circumstances. We don't have any problem doing that. We do just-in-time training, so all we ask is that you do have somebody that is signing out the AED has a current CPR card, but we'll take 10 or 15 minutes. It's that simple of going over on how to use this AED on the right timing and how it all works and everything else. So I'm a American Heart Association CPR instructor. I teach free CPR classes every single month. The classes are full, and we stress this so much. No matter what you see on TV, and my wife's going to get mad at me because I make fun of Grey's Anatomy, and I'm sorry if you're a fan, but it's not true what happens there. What really saves people's lives in sudden cardiac arrest is early access to AEDs. CPR is just the first component of that. So, how has that made an impact? Ever since we've started this, my dependable group that's always come back to us are the Derry Diamonds. And you're like, a Little League group? Yes, a Little League group comes and every single season they loan out an AED from April until about October, covering all their seasons for both baseball and softball. We did some calculations, and I've talked about this before, but we feel that that's impacted over the course of a season. Potentially over 30,000 people were protected by that AED for when family members or the athletes themselves are at their practices or games over the course of that whole season. That's a pretty incredible number. We've also had multiple loans to the Greater Derry Track Club. We've used it for their Couch to 5K programs, which are those programs which are for people that want to get into running but really don't know much about it. So they've loaned that out on 3 different occasions for those programs to have it available to those potential runners. And then last, we've loaned it out to the fishing derby here, as well as for their annual fishing derby, a one-day event. But right now, I currently have one out and actually looking to get it back soon. Is from somebody who had, you might have heard about it, but it was a very publicized cardiac arrest that took place up in the North Country on the side of a mountain. And somebody ran a couple hundred yards back to a building where they knew an AED was, got it back to this individual, resuscitated him. He's a resident of Derry. He came to us after his time in the hospital saying, I would really feel more comfortable and my wife would feel more comfortable if we could have this at home while I'm in my recovery period. So I took it to his house. We did some just-in-time training, and knock on wood goodness was that he didn't have to use it. And that's kind of the whole point of this program. So where are we looking to take this? So we're going to continue to promote this. My monthly CPR classes are full. I push this out every single month to people. We're going to try to, now we're in our new station and the move is mostly done, we're going to try to increase our social media presence by getting it out there on all the social medias again, letting people be aware of it. We're going to use the monthly message boards that we have at headquarters and our signs out front to advertise it as well. And I've just recently reached out trying to work, my next thought was the Parks and Rec group and all the different activities that they do to make an offer available to them to say, hey, if you have a bus trip, if you're going on a day trip here or there and you're going for more, for people that you feel might have this a need, then maybe this is something we could work with you on that. So we're looking to expand. That's why we're looking to, we're so thankful for this, the offer from the Rotary, and that we're looking to buy one, and if I play my cards right with the deals that go on with AEDs, I might very possibly be able to get 2 fully functioning AEDs out of this grant to add to our supply. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I just had to laugh when you mentioned Grey's Anatomy. So one of my main jobs is I teach veterinary CPR, and I always make note of the first time in the day when I also say, and this is not how it does, John. Don't listen to Grey's Anatomy. So I'm glad I'm not the only one making that.
No, and actually my wife doesn't allow me to be in the room when she watches it. Just
Yeah, my husband, I never watched it because my husband and I tried once, and he was like, I can't do this with you. Yeah. Any questions?
I just wanted to agree, definitely Grey's Anatomy never gets it right, but Chicago Fire always gets it right.
I'm not going to argue that with you, Counselor.
Yeah, you need to watch Fire Department Chronicles.
Madam Chair, seeing no further comments, I move the resolution number 2026-028 to accept the donation from the Derry Village Rotary Club for the AED loaner program. Whereas RSA 31:95-B authorizes the town council to accept unanticipated revenues to be used for any public purpose, and whereas the Derry Village Rotary Club supports community projects throughout the greater Derry area, and whereas the council recently endorsed an AED loaner program to be managed by the fire department, and whereas the Derry Village Rotary would like to donate funds to purchase additional AED units, now therefore be it resolved in council that the town administrator is hereby authorized to accept a $2,500 donation from the Derry Village Rotary Club to support the AED loaner program. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Mills, second by Councilor Foot. Any other questions, comments?
Thanks. Great program.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, on the motion, Councilor Mills.
Absolutely yes.
Councilor Healy.
Yes.
Councilor Webb.
Knowing 2 people were saved, including one of my neighbors, by public access AEDs, yes.
Councilor Chase.
Yes.
Councilor Flood.
Yes.
Councilor Foot.
Yes.
And I am going to abstain on this one. I am a member of the Derry Village Rotary. I abstained when they voted to give you the money, and I will abstain on this too, but agreed, it is an excellent program, so thank you for bringing this to us.
Thank you very
And
much.
motion passes.
Let the public know whether the Derry Village Rotary is the morning Rotary or the afternoon.
Yes, we're the morning.
We're the morning Rotary.
This is the morning Rotary group.
Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, any councilor comments or liaison reports? Councilor Webb.
Just that the Derry Housing and Redevelopment Authority met last week, and currently we have a vacancy, and they're looking to somebody to apply. A longtime member and former chairman, Ernie St. Pierre, has retired. And this is a wonderful group of people, meets once a month, and typically 8 o'clock Wednesday mornings. So if anybody wants to apply, please do.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Foot.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know I said it during the budget workshops we had, but a different audience, I'm guessing now. So about 2 weeks ago at the cemetery, we had about 25 students from the National Honor Society at Pinkerton came out and assisted us with cleaning up some of the veterans' headstones. So they did a great job. They were there about 4 hours, and some of them got the itch and they want to come back and do more on their own. So thank you to them, and always looking for help. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Healy?
Thank you. So I just want to thank Lynn Gagnon for her 9 years with the town. I hired her back in 2017, worked with her for 5 years. She's always done a great job. And, you know, back in 2020 during the COVID elections, I had to quarantine for the September primary, and Lynn ran that election. She's run many elections here, and she will be missed. I know by me, by Tina, but I am, again, very pleased with the incoming deputy clerk.
Seeing no further comments, Madam Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, have a good evening, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.